travel and be gone for long periods of time. What are the pros and the cons? Could you stay in such a relationship? You're listening to Dear Jelly. Let's talk about it.
It's the first hill of the roller coaster, and you hear those clickers, that loud sound, that's really violent metal chunk, and you go, what's going on here? Oh, this thing's really goes high. And then you go over the top. The wedding is at the top. You go over the top, there's the wedding, and then you just scream it.
Even if you make plans, you never think you're really ready for it.
No, it's like any growth. You can't be ready for it because it's growth. It's going to be new. It's going to be new. You're going to have a new life. You're going to be a new person.
You couldn't make your way forever. For forever. This is forever.
What's up, y'all? Okay. How are you?
You got it. Don't belong to anyone but you. Hey, if there's a question of my love,
how y'all doing? Welcome back. Well, Mike, hi. Hey guys, I haven't been here. I'm so excited. The Bengals are going to Super Bowl. Not my team, but congrats to you. Hey, Shig. Oh, let me get this brand right.
I'll admit it, albeit pathetic, that I'm in my late 20s, still never been to a wedding. Cause the idea of that lobby empty will not sit with me well. It's not your fault they try to get me, cause I'ma need the sales, cause I'm selfish. And I need you to myself, trying to see you afloat, but don't want to see you sail, cause I fail. To see you about to cry, cause when I enter
hey,
the city,
Sharika.
without they pride. Sorry.
Good to see you, BL.
My comments, fearing it's gonna always be you sharing me with
hey,
all
Teresa,
that.
good to see you.
How dare I say
Mike Walker, welcome back. Always good to see you.
You hear us what you for them. It's hard, temptation and all.
Congrats to BL on the Bengals going to Super Bowl.
Get a place in the chart, so run away from your heart. It is music, my all, nothing is sacred no more. Wrong.
So we're talking about long distance relationships. Cause
your friends saying let them go. And we ain't getting any.
Let's be clear.
That
seems to be the thing now. Especially like you want to meet somebody decent. It seems like it's not going to be anybody in your area.
If there's a question of my love,
I'm on these date now. And like everybody who seems decent is nowhere near me.
Baby, I've been making plans for you.
No.
Baby, I've been making plans. Baby, I've been making plans for you. Yeah.
I'll admit it. Let me be hypothetical.
And then
the idea of me finding love will run somebody over, but you my wall can use some plats, but still I got a flow.
And then like today's person,
yeah, I'm kind of lost. Now I'm up in the club with a couple levels on.
It's talking about dreading him coming off the road because the thing I didn't talk about. It's a great relationship because he's here for 2 days and then he's gone for 12 days. How are y'all surviving these kind of relationships with truck drivers and stuff? Where that's their job. And then if he's home longer, you don't have nothing to talk about. How are y'all surviving this kind of stuff?
I plan to do it better though. But still saying let it go. We ain't getting any younger. Women let me now,
If
but in
it's a
your eyes, you
question of
forever.
my heart, baby, you got it.
I mean, there's that person. Do y'all ever get nervous? Like if you're in a relationship like that about the person like having somebody in every city? He only home 2 days. He's only home 4 days a month. Wake up, I can't do it. I got hit up by a gentleman who's on the road like that, and I was just like, nah, I'm good. But is that why I'm by myself? I don't know. So then you ain't praying. This is a long song.
I feel like I'm a planet, and these other women that are kind of moving through this.
That's the stuff I think about.
And marriage is like you decide to jump off of your planet, cross to another planet, and you can only do it when one planet passes real close. And you look and you go, hey, I think I could jump across.
So we're gonna talk about the benefits. It's basically what they were telling me about the benefits of a long distance relationship. But at some point, I would like to think that y'all gonna stop being long distance, right? But then this person is like, no, they don't want to be in the same place. Like she got her life, I got my life, and I just don't. I was like, we need to talk about this. Because I guess this is normal. I live in one city, she live in one city. I live in one city, he live in one city. I mean, that's how y'all do. You're listening to Dear Jelly on WXNALP Nashville 101.5 FM. And tracking back, that was Wale featuring Usher with The Matrimony. If you're just logging in, welcome. This is Jelly with Dear Jelly, and we're discussing long-distance relationships, the pros and the cons of long-distance relationships, and the pros and cons of dating someone that might work on the road, travel a lot. Things as far as people who might fly with airlines or truck drivers, and then being gone for long periods of time. How do y'all make it work? What are the pros? What are the cons? And so there's some pretty good looking people right now live on TGI Jelly on Facebook. And Selena says the cons: can't see each other when you want. Trust has to be very strong. Miss them a lot more. But is that where you say things like absence make the heart go stronger? Does that relationship get spicier because you don't see them? So every time you see them, it's a party? Like, is that how that works? Selena says, yes, I can't do a long distance relationship. And there's a lot of people who feel that way. But then it seems like that is the end thing now. Like if you want to meet somebody decent, you have to be long distance. BL says, I did it once. I did long distance relationship once. It was cool then, but I'm good now. So I want to know, if it was cool then, why wouldn't you be up for it now, BL? BL says, I enjoyed learn a different city and culture. Okay, so you enjoyed, going somewhere new and the excitement of where she worked or lived. And so what I have in my inbox is basically a thing of saying they don't want to be in the same city. They like that she's in a different city, he's in a different city. They're committed to one another, but it just works because family and friends and jobs, and this is just what they decided to do. They're together, at least twice a month, happily maintaining a relationship. And long distance, it comes with obstacles, but it's what works best for us. So my question is, though, but how long can you just, I guess it depends on the mindset. If you're thinking towards marriage, I don't know. Like, do people live in different states and be married? Teresa says, one of my girlfriends married a truck driver with the condition that he would come off the road. Well, he didn't, and now divorced. I think that was unfair of her to put that stipulation in their marriage to ask him to give up his career. That's a good thought. I know of someone who basically told me they were depressed when their husband stopped driving because they enjoyed him being gone. And then he was kind of like getting on the nerves being back. I mean, but if you've been on the road for 20 some years and now you hear every day and they looking at you like, You don't have somewhere you need to go. Like, I built a whole life based on you being on the road, and now you here. Ugh. It's basically, you know, the sentiment that I got. Okay, so they were saying the pros. I don't know if that's a pro. So she said, okay, she said the pros of this relationship are I have time to focus on other relationships. So while this person's out of town, I can talk to them, but I can also spend time with people who matter to me, because sometimes people get into, okay, I get it. Because sometimes people get into relationships and they kind of don't take care of their friends and family and other things they have, because the relationship becomes part of everything. So I get that. You're forced to be more independent. Okay, so more self-sufficient. I got it. But wouldn't you rather be self-sufficient anyway prior to getting into a serious relationship? The time you spend together is memorable and more meaningful. Okay, so because they're long distance or they're on the road, you feel like y'all time together is better. I get it. So it sounds like there's a lot of pros to personal growth if you're in a long distance relationship. I mean, that's what it sounds like. You're listening to Dear Jelly on the X. Let me know what you think.
Never starting the show. Oh, baby, ain't no sense in front when you know I got a thing for you. Ain't no other girls in mind, it's me and you, baby. I love you. Used to be the kind of never want to settle down. Cause you changed me, baby. 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 Yeah, you changed me, baby. Settle down, settle down. I'm with you.
So,
look at me now. Cause you changed me, baby.
it's like not that many of us together tonight, which is cool.
Switch that all up in one night. Oh, baby, ain't no sense in front when you know I got a thing for you. Ain't no other girls in my life, baby. I love you. Used to be the kind of never want to settle down.
So Vieira's not gonna do no long distance relationship. Teresa, are you open to dating somebody who's a truck driver? Sorry, I had to find it online. Are you open to a long distance relationship? But at some point, somebody has to move, right? And my thought with that is, somebody always got to move. And it seems like they're always putting on that the females move.
Reason I'm missing, meaning for your kisses. All night on my phone, when you talk, I listen. Going on in the kitchen, breaking all of these dishes. Your crib on my bed, and I make a difference. I'm looking on your body, girl, I'm feeling on your booty, now you really wanna do the nasty. Girl, I love it when you get on your knees, you make me disappear like magic. Girl, you don't even know.
Even an ice cream truck driver. Yeah, y'all know she like ice cream. I mean, they don't get to eat what's on the truck. Is he stealing it off the truck to bring it home? If you're in the same house, you're responsible for handling all the household business. Because the other person's gone most of the time. That's a con. Or is it a pro? What if you don't like the way they do stuff?
Cause you changed me, shorty, you're the change that I've been hoping for. You changed me, baby. Yeah, you changed me, baby. Settle down, I'm with you, girl, look at me now. Cause you changed me, baby. I'm playing for life. Yeah, switch that all up in one night, baby. Oh, baby, ain't no sense in front when you know I got a thing for you. Ain't no other girls in my me, baby. I love you, used to be
that part. Say you change me, baby. Now open launch session. The guy is saying up front what would happen to eliminate distance. But what if he? Okay, this person wants to keep the distance. Oh shoot! They want to keep the distance. They don't want to break the gap. You're listening to Dear Jelly on WXNLP Nashville 101.5 FM. And tracking back, we had Wale featuring Usher with The Matrimony. And then Jamie Foxx featuring Chris Brown with You Changed Me. The COVID-19 vaccine is now available to all Tennessee residents 5 and older. To find vaccination locations near you in the U.S., visit vaccines.gov, text your zip code to 438-829, or call 1-800-232-0233. We are discussing long-distance relationship, the pros and the cons of long-distance relationship. I received a bunch of pros to long-distance relationships in my DMs, and you are all welcome to DM me at TGI Jelly and let me know what you'd like to talk about. What's something we can share? We never share the names. We change the name and just don't mention them to protect the innocent. And so we have some pretty awesome people who are sharing on TGI Jelly. And Teresa had shared about her friend who was with a truck driver. And basically the woman made him choose between, I guess, she and, being on the road because she didn't want to be with somebody who was on the road all the time. But why would you get into that type of relationship? If he or she is on the road all the time, they probably enjoy it. She says no truck drivers for her. Which says a con is if you live in the same house, you're responsible for handling all the household business because the other person is gone most of the time. That may seem like a con or a pro. Like, what if he or she is kind of messy? Then, you might have a cleaner house while they're gone. I'm just saying. Nina says, I'm not open to long-distance relationship unless the guy is saying up front what would happen to eliminate the distance if things got serious. Have a plan, but most don't with long distance. That's true. Most don't have plans with long distance. Teresa says, now that's a thought. LOL, maybe a local driver. So she's interested in maybe an ice cream driver because Teresa likes ice cream. So VL had mentioned even an ice cream truck driver. But y'all, if they hold on, Teresa. But hold on, VL. If you talking about the ice cream, it's the ice cream man. You talking about the ice cream man? Like he got a van and he drive around the neighborhood. Is that the kind of truck you talking about? Or is he delivering multi things of ice cream? When you say you're interested in somebody local delivering ice cream, is it the ice cream truck man? Like you going around the neighborhood? Is that the person you talking about? Because I think he's the only one that can really guarantee ice cream bring run home. Because if it's a truck driver for a major company, I don't think he can guarantee ice cream. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not trying to kill your ice cream man dreams, Teresa. I'm just saying he can't guarantee ice cream if he ain't, if that ain't his business. Melissa says long distance only works if there is already a plan for one person to move and the timetable going in. So this person is saying they like the long distance. He has his own life. She has his own life. They like the long distance. They don't like the mixing. They don't want to do the mixing. So that's what it is. No mixing. You got your relationship over here. You have your life over here. We get together. They get together twice a month. And they like it. They have no intention of moving. So I guess that's why it's a good thing to know up front what you're getting into, who you're getting into it with. So they ain't got to apply too much pressure. Here's a different kind of pressure by Ari Lennox.
Don't be tempted when you ain't it planet.
Pressure, I love this beat.
Live alone, leave it.
Kinky song, but that beat is hot.
It's so fine, it's spicy, baby. Jump up on me. I guess that's why you like it, baby. Why you texting
Love
me?
Coochie.
You know I won't reply. Why you waiting for me when I wasn't this fly? Now I'm on top and now I'm riding sky. Don't need nobody.
Not the ice cream van. That sounds like, it sounds like he gonna always have a what would I used to love from the ice cream truck? The chocolate and banana, or the rocket one. It's like red, white, and blue.
Don't be timid when you win it back.
I'm having a hard time concentrating because I love this beat. Fresh up.
I guess that's why you like it, baby. Come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby. Give it all.
2 hours. 2 hours is long distance. I mean, like what you saying sounds like they keep their options open, but maybe not. Like, what if their job? What if they're having a hard time?
Keep it running, leave it messy, straight up in it. Eyes on me, apply.
What if they're having a hard time with moving? Like, he's established, she's established. Does that mean that they shouldn't even entertain the other person? I guess it's what y'all saying. They shouldn't even entertain it.
Baby, get the right spot. Yeah. Hit it, baby.
Three's gonna be the ice cream man. All right, I can concentrate now. This song's off. All right, tracking back. That was Ari Lennox with Pressure. And there's a lot of a different kind of pressure in terms of being in a long distance relationship. Like I said, it sounds like this person is really, really content because she's where she is doing her own thing. He's where they are doing their own thing. And it looks like the people on TGI Jelly are not with it. Teresa says, I have never done long distance, done 2 hours distance. Teresa, you have done long distance. 2 hours distance, I consider that long distance. Because you're not just a hop, skip, and jump away. My hair is doing some flyaway thing. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to be vain. It's bothering me. Mawita's saying the person that that has DM saying that they're okay, at peace, and good with living somewhere different. He says it sounds like they're keeping their options open. Maybe, but maybe not. Sometimes you're established and they might just be having a hard time deciding who gets to move. I feel like 9 times out of 10, everyone looks at the woman to move, but what if she's more established than he is? Like, how do we determine who moves and why should you move? Why can't you just be happy seeing each other twice a month? I'm just playing a little devil's advocate here, asking y'all a question. Which it says, ain't nobody buying ice cream that time of night from the neighborhood ice cream. Sorry, we're talking about Teresa was saying that she wasn't interested in a truck driver, and we know that she likes ice cream. So we're like, what about the ice cream man? But it sounds like, we're advocating for the neighborhood ice cream man, not the truck driver ice cream man. She said, I might move for the right one, just depends. What would make that happen? Some of us are homeowners. Some of us have established careers. I love this radio station. This station is not available somewhere else. What are we doing? That's things that you have to think about. Like, what are you doing? Shout out to all my WXNA FM family. Mabita says they must feel that person obviously ain't worth moving for. But why does somebody have to move? Like, why do you have to Okay, so within every relationship, do you have to cohabitate at some point? Like, why can't you just enjoy each other's company? What if the person lives in another country? Do you have to cohabitate? Why can't you just take a vacation from life with your loved one, talk to them every day, Skype, Zoom? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that you shouldn't cohabitate. I'm not saying you shouldn't get married, and I'm not saying somebody shouldn't move. Trust me, I'm a very big 90 Day Fiance fan, and I watch people move on a regular basis. I'm just saying what determines somebody moving. And earlier we were talking about truck drivers and like people who, people who work with airlines. Some of them are gone a lot. A gentleman that hit me up on a dating app, and he was saying that he works 12 days, he's home for 2 days, and then he works another 12 days. So I was like, so how often are you home? And he was like 4 days a month. So 4 days a month he's home. The rest of the time he's in hotels in the truck. To some people that sounds ideal. Like, oh, good, he's not in my way. He's working on the road, and he's enjoying, the sights of the country, driving. Like, how would that work for you if he was only home twice a month for 2 days? And then there's a whole fear of, does he have another woman in every state? Because he might not want to stay at Airbnb. His Airbnb might be, Ari, Brenda, and Bobby. I don't know. I'm just saying. You're listening. I'm just saying. There's so many scenarios, so many ways it can go. I do want to share with you that the Red Cross is facing a national blood crisis that is threatening patient care. No matter your blood type, your donation is critically needed. More info and appointments to give now at redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. All right? I mean, let's just, long distance, him be on the road all the time, her be on the road all the time. What happens if you're love ridden? Let's talk about it. You're listening to Dear Jelly on the X. Definitely not doing out the country. Teresa, that's how I exist, honey. My mama moved across the ocean to be with her man. He was on this side when they met, though. Let me not tell all my business. But yeah. Keep it in my head. I don't say too much. I just hate the touch. He said with his other family. That's true. He might be with somebody else. How do you? She might be with somebody. You're in love, and this has become difficult. It can. But what if the distance is not difficult or is easy because he's gone or because she's gone? They don't get on your nerves as much. Have we thought about that? Because I got to miss you. I'm just saying. They got on my nerves, they just be a friend. But he hasn't had a chance to get on your nerves because he on the road. Not with it. That's a good point, Tim. All right, tracking back. That was Rotimi with Love Ridden. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Dear Jelly on WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM. And we are talking about long distance. What are the pros and cons of being in a long distance relationship? The individual that messaged me has shared all these pros. Like it feels like a new day every time you see them. You get to grow your relationship without, the pressure of being around each other. You just get to be free of talking. You get to concentrate on your other relationships, because I know sometimes some of us get in relationships and forget we got friends and family. So you get to, still strengthen your other relationships without hurting the relationship that you're in. But then there are people who share that, okay, but being in a long distance relationship, you get to miss the person. You don't get to see them as much. You have all the chores on you. But what if your relationship is working because you're not around each other? Teresa says she might move for the right person. So what would determine that moving, especially if you're an established individual with established organizations, established friends and connections, established, household, established career? I mean, what would determine that? But we're just saying that the person who's saying they're okay with being two ways, one living one place, then live another place, because they must feel that person obviously ain't worth moving for. But why do you have to move? Why? Teresa's saying she's definitely not doing out of the country relationship. I mean, it might be kind of fun. Why not? Maybe you didn't know that you were meant for the islands. Asia might be nice too. I don't know. Nina's saying if you are in love, the distance becomes difficult. I believe that the distance can become difficult if you are in love. But then on the other hand, I'm wondering, what if the relationship is easy because they're not around you all the time? They don't get on your nerves as much. Which says if they're on the road, they might be with another family member. That's true. If they're flying a lot, or if they're driving a lot or working a lot out of town, they may have a second family. They might have a second life. That's just a risk you got to take. Nina says if they got on her nerves, they'd be a friend. Tia says absence makes the heart grow fonder, only lasts so long, at least for me. So it sounds like you have a timeline. So how do you do that? How do we do this? How do we say, okay, so you live here and I live there. How do you put a timeline on when you or if you cohabitate? How? Mabita says, so the relationship only works if you ain't around. Yeah, I mean, sometimes some people's relationships, they might work. Might work because they're not around them. He says, Mabita says, sounds like friends with benefits. Sounds like friends with benefits, or sounds like the benefit of your long distance relationship? I'm just saying. That's what it sounds like to me. Here's where I'm going with Call It What You Want. You're listening to Dear Jelly on the X. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. Hold on 1 second. I
don't know who I am. All I know is that I am yours.
I love the song. I don't know if y'all have noticed, I sneak it in every couple of shows. It just speaks about,
they were down, but now I see it's 'cause I was on my knees begging.
Yes!
Oh, you were the melody I knew before the time you came to me.
Sorry, hold on. I can't get my own. I like that, Bill. Call it what you want.
I believe in wait until the moment's right to say that word. You're the voice you say.
Distance can what? Distance can be a barrier or a strength. That's what I'm saying. Tia, that's real. If I need an extended break from you to feel excited about seeing you, you are not the one. True. But unless you try, you don't know. It might be like, what if you want to wait till you're like ready to retire and then y'all cohabitate after you've lived as much as you want to live? I don't know. Y'all, I'm just talking. So what would be the things that would definitely make you move? Like be like, yes, I'm gonna bring this thing together, or yes, I'm gonna be okay dating somebody who's a truck driver. Some people like pen pals. Some people like pen pals. I love pen pals. I want a pen pal. Pen pals are fun. Yes, that song is fat. All right, tracking back, that was Rum.Gold with Call It What You Want. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Dear Jelly on WXNALP, Nashville 101.5 FM, and we are talking about long-distance relationships. What are the pros and the cons of long-distance relationships? Why do you have to cohabitate? The person shared about how they're okay with their relationship. He lives where he lives, she lives where she lives. And when they get together, it's like a party every time. And I guess they're not getting on each other's nerves because they live somewhere different. I like this. I like this. I like when y'all mess with me. Okay. If you do a long distance relationship, you'll both become experts in communication. Because you have to work to understand each other. I agree with that. You work on your communication. It's an easy way to work on your communication. Oh, I like this. And what? Oh, you'll get creative in how you spend time together. Okay, so the fact that you don't see this person all the time, I like that. So the fact that you don't see the person all the time, you become more creative on how to make it more meaningful, on how to spend time together, on what y'all do. I like that. Y'all not with that? Y'all not with that? We just saying earlier, it sounds like friends with benefits. And VL says, I think relationships can work when people work it. Work through things and work things out. I like that. Now, VL, you're also no longer interested in long distance relationships. So why not? Because it sounds like you've got the key, my brother. You've got the key. Distance can be a barrier or a strength. Yes, but it sounds like it could work for you. Tia says, if I need extended breaks from you to feel excited about seeing you, you are not the one. That's true. But if you haven't tried it, try it. Mawita says, some people like pen pals. I like pen pals. Fun fact, I like pen pals. I don't see what's wrong with it. Aku says, life is too short to be doing long distance. But why? Why do you have to be in the same place? I think it's why do you have to cohabitate? Why do you have to be in the same place? Why does one have to choose to move, and how do you decide? He says, VL says, I want her in my city. I want access. You want access. You can't access them otherwise? What type of access are we talking about? How often are you trying to access this person? Because, like you said earlier, if you work it, so you can still access them. They're not on another planet. You can still access them. There are some people who are not accessible, and they're right in your city. And so I'm just saying, what is going to determine who moves and who doesn't? How do we determine that? How do you decide that? Do you start breaking things down now and say, I might have to move? How do you decide that? You might love everything you have, and you have to choose between your life that you have and you've built and this other person. So I guess that's why you're saying you want somebody close to you, because that's the decision you're going to have to make anyway, but it might be harder if they're in another city. I get it, guys. Girls Write Nashville is a nonprofit that provides songwriting and production experience for girls ages 7 to 17. Over the course of 5 months, girls interested in songwriting are paired with professional adult female musician mentors. Each season culminates in recording the young artist's work in professional studios and presenting it at a live showcase. Information and registration at girlswritenashville.com. All right, y'all. So we are talking about, absence. Somebody said the absence only makes the heart grow fonder for so long. So how do we, let's say, okay, like right now, I'm on these dating apps. When I travel, other people travel, they might come across my profile. How do we have, give me words to say, hey, if this works out, this is the time frame. How do you decide the time frame? How does that even work? Talk to me. Talk to me. Because you really might just like that person. Sometimes you just do. Here's I Just Do by Gordian Banks.
If I don't have you, then I don't have nothing at all. Nothing is perfect, but baby, I love all of your flaws. Yes, we have highs, and we
Y'all gonna tell me how we determine this?
There's nothing too hard when you're in love.
I wanna know.
You know, I don't need a reason to love you, to love you, to love you, baby, I just do. Baby, I just do. I don't need a reason to love you, to love you, to love you, baby, I just do. Baby, I just do. For a lifetime, can I get a lifetime? Brush your wrist down in the nighttime. Bust it open for me.
So somebody else will only be a pen pal.
Spread your wings when I fly down. Look me in my eyes, say it's all mine. I'ma keep it up to the sunrise.
Hey.
You can have the world, just you and I. You can have the world, just you and I. Yes, we have, we do. And we do. There's nothing too hard when you're in love. I'm certain.
Hey.
I don't need a reason to love you, to love you, to love you, baby. I just do. Baby, I just do. Baby. I don't need a reason to love you, to love you, to love you, baby. I just do. Baby, I just do. I don't need a reason. I don't need a reason to love you, to love you, to love you. I just do. Baby, I just
So we're not doing long distance.
I don't need a reason.
Whoever lives in the wackest city gotta move. In the wackest city? What? What determines which city is wackest? It's good if you live there. That's not fair.
I don't need a
with that. Oh. Tracking back, that was Gordon Banks with I Just Do. You don't need a reason. You just do. Like you need but you do need a reason if you're going to consider a long distance relationship or being in a relationship with somebody who is on the road all the time. You need to consider the pros and the cons. Lisa says, I was asking earlier, like, how do you determine who moves where and how do you determine a timeline? Like, what determines the timeline? Is it where you are in life, what you have going on? What if you're in school? I guess y'all can be like, do online. What if you don't do well online? What if you just start a new career? What if you just bought a house? He said, Melissa says, whoever lives in the wackest city got to move. No, because who determines which city is wackest? Then Melissa says, whoever is legally allowed to leave the city, states should move. Hopefully you're both legally allowed to leave the city. This is not the conversation of those who are legally bound to their cities and cannot travel for legal reasons. This is for those who are free to roam. Don't have to check in with any parole officers or anything. Free to roam. How do you determine who moves? And like I said, for me, I don't like that typically people expect the woman to be the one to naturally move, the woman to be the one that naturally just picks up her things and goes where he is. I don't think that's fair. I don't like that. I personally think that I live in a great city. I love Nashville, and especially our WXNA listeners. WXNA FM listeners are the best. All of you are the best in every city that you're in. But we wouldn't know each other and couldn't have this lovely time we have together if not for this awesome radio station that resides in Nashville. So it's food for thought because they definitely have given their great reasons as to why they want to keep doing their long distance relationship. I like the part about being creative on different ways because sometimes people get bored or aren't creative. I like the part about being able to become better communicators. I like the part about the time being together being more memorable so you don't get bored. I like the part about being able to feed into other relationships because your current relationship is not taking away time from friends and family because they live somewhere else. Oh, this is a good one. How did I not see that earlier? Okay. At the end of the day, if we decide to cohabitate, the knowledge that our relationship survived the distance shows that it can survive anything. So if your relationship can survive the distance, if you can survive being away from that ice cream man, Teresa, while he's taking ice cream, driving ice cream to Florida, Wisconsin, wherever else, might be coming from Wisconsin, no Dairy State. I'm just saying, if you can survive the distance and the time that he's away, then when you do get to cohabitate, it can be so much grander. That's their final. Yeah, there's nothing else for them. That's the final thing. And it's a good thought, right? Or is that like too much for y'all? And I'm still waiting for VO to let me know. He said he wants access. So like full-time access. You want quick cohabitation. Like, what are we saying? Because you can access them depending on your job and your schedule, even if they live somewhere else. Everybody's always access via phone, via Skype, there's people in your city that might be in your city and still not accessible. So what do you mean by access? Let me know. In the end, I think we all just want time. We know that time is not on our side, especially in the days that we're living right now. Anything can happen tomorrow. It's definitely not promised. So I get it. You don't want the long distance because you want to be able to have as much time in their presence as possible. Here's Sebastian Michael with Time. You listen to Dear Jelly on the X.
Ain't she something? Some drag song with her hair in a braid. Something special. Connections more physical, level one spiritual. That's just how my heart is one. Yes, that's my love for and love will follow you. I feel like I got one. I can show mama you can that 12-inch room and it's very into deep. I don't know wrong for wrong. Baby, just spread and she my love. I can spend a day out if you want. I can take you places for the love.
Hey.
I can spend a day to you down. For you out of time. We ain't gotta ever see the sun. Got everything till you want. We can go a day till you down. For you out of time. I'm in the mood. I need your love. Come a little closer, baby.
Sorry, nobody wants to see my pen pal.
I know she be sending pictures to my phone. Now the one she posts up in her phone. Now we get nasty in my home. Comfortable and petty, no problem.
Oh.
She's getting better when I take too long. Gotta let you miss it. Give me a push, be on the safe side. You know I'll be performing, I don't have stage fright. I give you head for me.
What you say about pen pal? I said nobody wants to see my pen pal. I like pen pals.
When you get on the phone,
I guess people right anymore?
They wish people give it a shot.
Maybe
Like
by email.
like it don't
Hey. And I don't want to be pen pals with anybody who's not legally allowed to leave the state or the city. Not that kind of pen pal. I know they need to put pen pals. I'm good. No, that. No. I love Love After. I watch Love After Lockup, but no, I'm good. I like living vicariously. Yeah, no penitentiary. All right, tracking back, that was Sebastian Michael with Time. And I think if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Dear Jelly on WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM. We appreciate you tuning in, everybody that gave their thoughts and wonderful suggestions and everything on live on TGI Jelly on Facebook. We appreciate all of you. It sounds like the consensus are, even though this couple seems to be very at peace with one living somewhere else and it being exciting coming together, it sounds like the consensus of today's listeners is that they want somebody nearby. They want somebody nearby. They want someone who is not somewhere else. Like VL said, he wants full access. Well, he said he wants access. I added the full. Rachel says there is an HGTV show where couples decide who should move. I forget what it's called though. Yeah, definitely going to check that out. I guess be open, and I'm probably speaking more to myself than anybody else. Just be open. Life is short. There's different opportunities being presented now, which might include a long distance relationship. But as someone shared earlier, you need to have a plan and know how long you can be long distance for, how this is going to work. At some point, somebody's going to have to move, or maybe not. You might decide to be like the couple that wrote in and say, hey, no, we good. She's over there. I'm over here. It might mean they have extracurricular activity buddies, or they might just be so busy that it just works. It just works. At the end of the day, be true to what works for you because you're the one that has to live with it. Know that you matter. You've always mattered. I appreciate you tuning in. We will be here next Sunday, same time, same place. The next voice you're going to be hearing is going to be that of Dream Beats. And thank you for supporting WXNA. We definitely love you and appreciate you. Be sure to check out our website, WXNAFM.org. Check out our swag. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you in terms of playing something you'd like. I'm always open for dedications as well as sharing your story and experience. Go ahead and DM me at TGI Jelly on Instagram or TGI Jelly on Facebook. All right, appreciate you guys. Next voice you're going to hear is that of Dream Beats. Have a great one, y'all.
She gives me life when I look in her eyes, each and every time that she smiles. And the look can be measured. Every day it gets better.
Appreciate y'all being here.
Finest of wine. If you could hear her
Thanks,
talk,
boo.
you wanna listen more. Just in the way she walks, you know the queen is her. Sweetness, this position that uniqueness. She gives sexy more meaning. Without even trying, she's breathing. And all I am is because of her. She is a queen of mine. She's perfectly designed.
Appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your week. Appreciate your support, being here. Thank you so much.